Let us begin. Tavu kathamritam tapta jivanam kavibhiriritam kalmashapaham sravana mangalam srimadatatam bhuvi grinanti e bhurida janaha. We were discussing about the wonderful topic that Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna he was telling to the devotees. And he was telling that true devotee, he is having some characteristics. The first, a real devotee develops the power of assimilating the instructions. And this is so important to understand the instructions. So this is when a person is telling something, sarva dharman parityajya mam ekam sharanam braja. You're giving away all your religion and please come and depend on me, or you dedicate yourself to me, like this. Now, the moment the word has been used that dharma, many of the people they will be describing, oh, that means the other religion should not be. Here it is not like that. They should understand this. Here the dharma means your responsibilities. When you are in such a condition, mental condition, that there is nothing else but God, the belief has come, faith has come. You are completely depending on God, just like a small little baby. As the baby is depending on the God, if you can depend on the God, then you need not to bother about the other responsibilities, and the reaction of the other work will not come on you. Result of other work will not come on you. This is what it meant. Now, a true and real devotee will understand this. But if not, then they will misinterpret and they will call themselves devotee. Then slowly the religion, the wonderful religion which makes a man perfect, that becomes a source of torture for the human being. Because of misunderstanding, misconception and misrepresentation. So that's why a true devotee, a real devotee, has the power of assimilating instruction. Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, sometimes he is telling that you must follow some of the disciplines, like practicing fasting in some special days. Whom he is telling? To Master. The person who is noting it down, he is telling you must practice this fasting. But the same Sri Ramakrishna is asking Narendranath not to do that. He doesn't bother. He need not to. The people should understand, so to whom he is telling. Sometimes some of the instructions, advices is meant only for that type of people, whom that he thinks it is like this. So this way one should understand, otherwise it is always creating problem. So the first and foremost, the symbol of a devotee to understand the thing, the instruction perfectly. And true devotee develops true devotion to God. That we claim that, oh, he is a very old devotee and he is a very, what is a devotee? One should understand what devotee means. The devotee is this, a true devotee means a true devotion to God. And what is devotion? Devotion is complete faith, understanding, love, association with God. Otherwise, having a little faith, having little argument, having little doubts, and all this combined, I go to the temple and no, I am trying to become a devotee. I am just a student trying to become a devotee. A devotee means 100% faith, complete faith. There's the one story that goes in the name of that famous devotee of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Girish Chandra Ghosh. He was going to wade in the Ganga, and it seems Swami Vivekananda jokingly told, "Are you going to wade in the Ganga to wash away your sins?" Immediately he stood and turned back and said, "No, I am going to make Ganga purified by bathing." Why? Because Ganga has flown from the feet of Vishnu. It has been created from the feet of Vishnu. And that Vishnu, that Bhagavan, he came at this time in the modern age as Sri Ramakrishna and kept his hand on my head. I am more purified than the Ganga. So now, people may argue and all those things. It is not like that. It is the confidence, belief, faith. When no one was ready to accept Sri Ramakrishna as God, Girish Ghosh, he was going on telling, he is God himself, no avatara. So that is the confidence. Sholo ana vishwas. It's 100% faith. A devotee, a true devotee, should develop true devotion to God. And the devotion, the first phase of devotion is faith, 100% faith. The mother told the child, "You should not go over there because there is a ghost." And child believes mother 100% and never doubts her words. And the child says, "I won't go because mother told not to go." Whether all people are coming and telling and showing, no, mother told and I depend on mother, I believe on mother. That's called child's faith. Sorry. This child's faith that we should understand, when I am completely dedicated to God that much, and then the true devotee has controlled his senses, subdued his lust. The desire, so many varieties of desire, and that we have to control totally. How we can do that? Totally dedicated to God. God is taking care of everything. Why should I have to think of it? So that way, we have to understand the total dedication to God, total faith in God. So what are the qualities of a devotee? How we will know who is a true devotee? These are the three Sri Ramakrishna is telling. First, understanding the instruction very clearly, perfectly, and actually. Second, true devotion, and there is no doubt about the existence of God. And third, he has already controlled his senses. So that means a yogi. Tasmat yogi bhava Arjuna. This is Krishna asking the Arjuna, become a yogi, totally control all your senses. And when I am controlling my mind, withdrawing my mind, where I am keeping it? On God. So that is, now Sri Ramakrishna is talking with the same devotees, and there was a song, a person came, he was singing, and after that bhajan Sri Ramakrishna mentioned that the song is related to yoga, and he is telling there is much similarity between the 7 planes described in the Vedanta and the 6 centers of yoga. Now Sri Ramakrishna didn't read the Yoga Sutras of Patanjali, and not he has gone through the books of Vedanta also. But he knew everything so clearly from his own experience. He is telling. Then he is telling that here a little while ago he sang a song describing the 6 centers. These are dealt with in yoga. There are 2 kinds of yoga, Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. There are 2 kinds of yoga, Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. Now, all over the world in present day, the UNESCO, they have the UNO, they have accepted the yoga and they have declared a yoga day, and this yoga day means this Hatha Yoga day. This is called Hatha Yoga. What is that Hatha Yoga and what is Raja Yoga? Sri Ramakrishna mentioning Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. And Hatha Yogi practices physical exercises. His goal is to acquire supernatural powers, longevity, and 8 psychic powers. That's called Hatha Yoga. Their goal is fixed to get these 3. These are his aim, but the aim of Raja Yoga is to attainment of devotion, love, knowledge, and renunciation. Of these 2, Raja Yoga is the better. Now, those who are observing from distant places, they requested to mention the page number of the book. I forgot to tell in the beginning. This is 244 and 245 of the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna by Swami Nikhilananda ji. This here we find in the 245th page, he is mentioning there is much similarity between the 7 planes described in the Vedanta and 6 centers of yoga. The first 3 planes of the Vedas may be compared to the first 3 yogic centers, namely Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. Now, we will see how it goes. Then the ordinary people, the mind dwells in these 3 planes. Most of the people, the mind do not go up from the navel planes. So, this is the observation of the Vedanta and the yoga. So, there are 7 centers, the Vedanta says, and there are 6 centers, the yoga says, and this is the Raja Yoga. And what is Raja Yoga? What is the Hatha Yoga? And just before going in details from the Sri Ramakrishna, we can just see there are so many yogas. Y-O-G-A, yoga means union. Union with what? Now, this is called Hatha Yoga. Ha and Tha, 2 letters. Ha means breathing in through right nostrils, and Tha, breathing in through left nostrils. When we are breathing in from left, breathing in from right, it is called Ha and Tha. Right is the Ha, left is the Tha, Hatha Yoga. And Hatha Yoga consists of Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, and Pratyahara. These are the 5 steps: Yama, Niyama, Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara. Up to this is the Hatha Yoga. And Yama and Niyama, spiritual discipline. There are again different disciplines are there in the Yama and Niyama. Then Asana, that is called sitting posture. Then Pranayama, breathing control. And when we were reading why we should meditate in those lectures, we have very clearly described and analyzed and discussed about this. And then Pratyahara, withdrawing the mind from different objects, the objects that is there externally. So, this is the problem, because the mind of the human being, that is most important. Mano eva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshaya. Bandha and moksha. Bandha means is the bondage, bound. Bound in what? In the circle of birth and death, again and again. Why we are bound? Because of the mind. Why? Because the mind is consist of all these organs and their impressions. And what are the organs are doing? The eye, the ear, the nose, the tongue, and the skin. These 5 organs are collecting information from 5 objects. So the eye is going and seeing an object. Here, the ear is hearing some words. The nose is smelling. Tongue is tasting. Skin is feeling the touch. All this information are going in the mind, and the mind trying to assimilate it. That is why our mind is not under our control. And it goes on repeating again and again, and in this life, in our past life, in future life, the same thing is going on. So they have pinpointed. What is that? Mind. And we have to control mind. How to control? Pratyahara, the last. You have to withdraw. How to withdraw? Don't see, hear, taste, listen. Rather, you go deep and try to see the beauty of your own self. Listen to the Omkara and taste that bliss. Like this, you have to turn all the senses inward. That is called Pratyahara. The Hatha Yoga consists of these 5. And the moment you control your mind, what happened? You are in a situation to get the wonderful power, miraculous power, supernatural power. That is the goal of Hatha Yoga. Then comes Raja Yoga. This Raja Yoga, the 5 of Hatha Yoga, the 5 steps, and then they take the mind beyond, and that's called Dharana, Dhyana, Samadhi. The Sri Ramakrishna mentioned only these 2 names. Hatha Yoga, there are 2 yoga, Hatha Yoga and Raja Yoga. Now this Raja Yoga, what is the difference? It is having not only the 5 of the Hatha Yoga, but plus adding another 3. That's called Dharana, clear understanding. And holding the mind in one place, on one particular thought, that's called Dharana. It's very, very difficult. And then after the Dharana, when one is master of Dharana, then only it becomes Dhyana. But most of us, we come and ask, can you please teach us Dhyana, concentration? But Dhyana comes after so many stages, after so much of preparation. Yama, Niyama, almost 5, 5, 10. That you have to practice fast. Then Asana, Pranayama, Pratyahara, then Dharana. After Dharana, then you are capable to concentrate, practice meditation. The meditation is a magic word nowadays. Everywhere, everyone, they are discussing about meditation. And so many schools, they have opened up teaching meditation. But meditation means we must understand we have to pass through all this. Then only this concentration comes on a particular thought, particular object, one pointed mind. The tremendous flow of mind, tremendous powerful, and that we are concentrating on one place. And then when we are successful in that dhyana, then comes samadhi, ultimate. This samadhi means totally cessation of all other activities and merging in that thought or object. That is called samadhi, and this called Hatha Yoga, then Raja Yoga. The Hatha Yoga 5, then Raja Yoga at 3. So 8 steps. And the Patanjali Rishi, he mentioned these 8 steps of yoga. Then comes Mantra Yoga. Very easy. Our purpose is to realize God. Our purpose is to concentrate. Our purpose is to get joy, bliss, happiness. Our purpose is to reach to the goal, which is God realization or self realization. And there is a very simple, wonderful method that is called mantra yoga or japa yoga. And in the Bhagavad Gita, of all the yogas, yajnas, Sri Krishna said, Yapa Yogashmi. I, the God, I am the Yapa. Yapa Yoga. What is the Japa Yoga? The name of, holy name of God. When one is getting the initiation, he is receiving the name of God from his Guru. Now, having the faith and belief on the words of Guru, one must go on repeating the name, but that's all. Sometimes I receive the letters from different disciples. I want to practice this. Can you please advise me how to achieve this and that? Without understanding. Now, in this present age, the easiest yoga is Yapa Yoga. And that is why Ma Sharada Muni Devi, she is continuously asking the disciples, people, go on repeating the name of God. Don't bother about other things. Everything will be taken care. If you can repeat the name of God. Now, this Durga Puja is coming. From yesterday it has begun, Devi Paksha. This Devi Paksha means a very holy period of 15 days. Now, suppose one goes on increasing the number of yoga, japa. The first day, that was yesterday, 1000. Then second day, 2000. Third day, 3000, up to 15,000. This is nothing. If one can practice that, then automatically mind will be so controlled. Particularly those who are having time, particularly after the retirement, this is the only option for the devotees. And you need not to bother about the company of others. You need not to bother about going and mixing and socializing and all, nothing. Just practice this 15,000, you will see the feeling of joy within. And first 1 or 2 months, maybe a little bit. Then from the 3rd or 4th or 5th, if you can continue up to 6 months, wonderful flow of joy, constant joy. And then if someone is coming and asking, there's a great show is going on, do you like to come? No. Why? Because if I go to that show, whatever joy that I will get from there, much more joy by sitting alone. That's why Ma Sharada Mani Devi, she is telling, Japat Siddhi, Japat Siddhi, Japat Siddhi. The success, Siddhi means success. The success is in taking the holy name of God. Just go on repeating the name of God. And what we need, 2 things. One, the faith in the words of Guru, and second, dedication. These 2 things. Since I have accepted the words of the Guru and he has asked me to repeat the name, let me. And second, whatever I will do, I must do with sincerity. When I am taking the name of God, and then Mother is telling, whenever, in whatever way you are taking the name of God, that will do. Sometimes I am not very concentrated. Sometimes I cannot sit on the asana, a particular seat where I really practice meditation. Never bother. Wherever you are, go on taking the name of God. And the time will come, that name will occupy your whole mind. And what is the name? Name of God. What is that God? Joy, self-confidence, and success. And that is true. And then the wonderful friend we will get, whatever we like to tell, we can tell to God. So this is what is called mantra yoga. Then come laya yoga. Laya means totally cessation, lay. Total cessation. And the mind should merge, or totally mind should be in that complete form of what? The sound of Om. The A, U, Ma. These three, the later word, the A, U, Ma, Om. This sound is going, and one has to concentrate on that. Very, very difficult, very difficult. But if one can do that, keeping the mind on that, that is called Laya Yoga, concentrating on the Om. And that's why Hindus, they accept the word Om as the most holy word. Holy later we can say. And this A-U-Ma, that later Om, wherever there is a holy place, holy thing, the Hindus, they will mark over that. Why? They believe that the whole place becomes purified because of that word. Just the faith? No. It has been practiced. That's why the yogis, they have said there is a yoga, union with God, union with the Supreme. The process is concentrating the mind on the sound of Om. Then comes Jnana Yoga, the knowledge, and this also through discrimination, also very difficult. Constantly describing and keeping your mind engaged, alert. Now, I am not, every Sunday before studying that, discussing on the saga of the soul, the mantra that you are chanting is an excellent, Naham Manushya. I am not the human being, I am nothing. Well, then what? I am the Atma Sarupa. What is that Atma Sarupa? Constantly going on. If somebody is coming and criticizing me, without being reacted, affected, immediately we have to concentrate on discrimination. Who am I? Who is he? What he is telling, and why I am reacting? Is it so easy? But still, that is a path. That's called Jnana Yoga. In a very nice way, in the Bhagavad Gita, the Jnana Yoga has been described. Then comes the Bhakti Yoga. The 12th chapter of the Bhagavad Gita is totally dedicated for the devotion, Bhakti Yoga. And this Bhakti Yoga is also, these are all combined, the Bhakti Yoga, Dhyana Yoga. This Bhakti Yoga is a total devotion, and we were reading just now as Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, Kali Yuge Naradiya Bhakti, he said. Kali Yuga means this present age. Naradiya Bhakti, what is that Naradiya Bhakti? Tad arpita akhila acharata, tad vishmarane paramo vyakulata iti. Only 2 lines. Tad means that God, arpita, offering, akhila, complete, acharata, action. Whatever I am doing, I give it to God. Akhila acharata. Tad vishmarane, and when I forget the God or the self, then paramo vyakulata. I feel that something I have lost. How could I stay in that situation? Paramo vyakulata. So that is called Bhakti Yoga. Then come Karma Yoga. On this, Raja Yoga, Jnana Yoga, Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga, wonderful, excellent books are there by Swami Vivekananda. The 4 yogas, that is the greatest contribution of Swami Vivekananda for the human society. And this Bhakti Yoga and Karma Yoga means there are some people who are very active type. They cannot sit and concentrate, they cannot discriminate, they don't have the devotion, but they can work. And that work, unselfish work, whenever they are working for others, dedicating that work, result of the work for God, to God. So this way, then comes Kriya Yoga. There is an ashrama I went over there, the name of the Kriya Yoga. What is the Kriya Yoga? That's called Tapasya, Swadhyay, Ishwar Pranidhan. When these three actions come together, it's called Kriya Yoga. Kriya, action. Kriya, the Sanskrit word Kriya means action. Yoga, through that action, you are united with the God Supreme. Kriya Yoga. What are the actions? First is Tapasya, austerity. And this austerity just doesn't mean that when it is winter, I am not wearing any warm clothing. When it is hot, I am wearing warm clothing and then suffering inside, or I am not eating, or doing this or that. That is only external tapasya. In the Bhagavad Gita again, the different type of tapasyas, it has been described by the Lord Krishna himself. The tapasya of the tongue, Vachik tapasya, Kaik tapasya, Manasik tapasya. From the mind also we are practicing austerity. Then the Vachik, when we are talking, that is also austerity. Restraining all my feelings and using the good, best words so that the people are not hurt. That is called austerity. And we are practicing so many other things and hurting people with our words, our behavior, our thought. It is not austerity at all. So if we could understand the real purport, the real meaning of the austerity, and how many millions of our people all over India now, they will be fasting, practicing so much of austerity, and they will be eating very little or giving away the food to someone. So many they do. But the progress towards the spiritual life is very little. Why? Because not having the clear understanding. The clear understanding is tapasya. Tapa means the fire, the warmth of what? Of practicing this. So one should go to open the Gita and then see how many tapasyas are there. Vachik, Manasik and Sharirik. Physically, we must have to control, and then about the talk or the tongue, control, and thought control. I should not even by mistake think wrong about somebody else or harming thoughts about somebody else. Even that too I should not do. That is called tapasya. So this is this austerity kriya. Then swadhyaya. Swadhyaya, reading the scripture. So many other books we are reading. In this country, people have the habit of reading. Whenever I go, I travel, I see the people constantly going on reading because they don't like chatting, or Indians, they like chatting. If they are alone, they will be seeing anybody looking like Indian. Hey, where from? You're from India? कहाँ से आए आप? अच्छा हिंदी समझते हैं ना, आ जाइए ना इधर बैठिए. So then they will have a long talk about immediately exchanging all the information and that. So that way they are very friendly, very open-minded, and they pass time with that, but they don't do the swadhyaya. But here the people are reading the only novels. That is the problem. Novels are good, a different type of books are there, that's good. That also gives us inspiration, but swadhyaya means with a dedicated mind, concentrated mind, we have to study the scripture. I have seen one Swamiji was there under whom I have worked for many years. He was the manager of the Advaita Ashrama. And immediately after morning meditation and all that, then we all come to take the breakfast. After the breakfast, immediately he will go close his door and then he will open the Bhagavad Gita, he will read Gita one sloka with all the varieties of explanation, particularly Shankara, Ramanuja, and others are there, Tikas are there, Madhusudhan Saraswati, all these he will read every day without fail. That's called Swadhyaya. And he used to, then afterwards, he is ready, he is going and meeting people, doing all other, whatever the responsibility he was having. But Swadhyaya, this is very important. And before going to bed, reading at least 2 pages from a holy book. After getting up, after practicing meditation, then fresh yourself, then sit and read a few pages. Then go to. I have seen a father and mother of one of our monk, and that very old person, after having the sannyasa, we are supposed to go and meet our parents. So we went. This is a ritual that we should go and. So he told, do you like to come to meet my parents? I told, okay, we were friends, so we are friends still. So I went along with him, and he told, see, they won't open the door till this time. 3:30 early morning, then they will open the door, they will go for bathing the Ganga, and even if they see, look at me and you, they won't stop or talk. They will go bathe in the Ganga, then come back, and they will do little puja, they will study the scripture, then only they will talk to us. Please don't feel insulted. He knew. We were waiting at the Ganges, near the Ganges. We saw that old man is coming, and at the back, that lady, she is carrying some little small packet. Then they went, they took the deep in the Ganga, then they were chanting, they came up. The mother, of course, she was looking at the sun. After so many years, the sun has come, but didn't stop. She followed the steps of her husband, the father. Then we also followed them. We sat over there near. We saw that they were worshipping that Shiva Linga, and after the worship, the gentleman, the old person, he took out a book, he was reading, and the mother was listening only. These two, nobody else. Then after that, they took little Ganga water, they drank the Ganga water, then opened up. Oh, when you have come, how are you? And that is called Swadhyaya, with great devotion. After seeing them, the respect for the parents have really increased 100-folds. And that is the traditional parents of India. And that is the traditional people of India. They will never do anything else without practicing the spiritual practice that they have taken up. Will never break that. So that way, and then slowly, continuous routine is there. Then after 2-3 hours, again they sat, again they studied, then they took the prasad, puja, offering in the room itself. The mother, she prepared some simple food, and the puja was done, it was offered to Thakur, the god, the Shiva, and then they took the prasad, they gave us prasad also. Afterwards they took little rest, after the rest again study, and then they called some of their nearby relatives, friends, neighbors to meet us. So there was a socializing thing, and in the evening again the arati. And night also they took only little, drinking a little milk and maybe just one bread or something, without bread, but that's all. Again early morning getting up, because they should go to bed by 9, so that they will get up at 3 and getting ready, then they will go to Ganga, routine goes. So then where is the time to think that I am lonely? The retired people, the problem is loneliness. Where is the time to think? No time to think that I am lonely. There's a wonderful routine, and that's called Swadhyaya. So Kriya Yoga is tapasya, austerity, Swadhyaya, and then Ishvara Pranidhana. See, after seeing the routine of these two, and is it not the Kriya Yoga they were practicing? The tapasya, Swadhyaya, Ishvara Pranidhana. They were constantly remembering God, of doing puja to God, worship to God, and all this. This is called the different type of yoga. Sri Ramakrishna mentioned as because the song that the gentleman sang, it referred about the Raja Yoga. So he mentioned mainly there are two yoga. One is Raja Yoga and Hatha Yoga. He is very clear about it. Even today, many people, they are confused about yoga. Swamiji, do you teach yoga? And this yoga means, they always mean Hatha Yoga. So this Hatha Yoga is a different type, is a good, but we teach yoga, that is Raja Yoga. Raja means king. That is beyond everything. So this Sri Ramakrishna is mentioning, when the mind rises to the fifth plane, he is mentioning about first, second, third, then fourth, then the fifth plane. First, second, third, he mentioned Muladhara, Swadhisthana, Manipura. These are the names of the places. We have a spinal cord. Yogi said, in the beginning of the spinal cord, Muladhara, Mula Adhara. Mools means the root. Adhara means the holding. The energy of the human being, of all being, there. And from there, for the human being, slowly they have developed a wonderful system that is called meditation. They take it upwards, and the first Muladhara, then Swadhisthana and Manipura. I will tell you the different places of this. Then Sri Ramakrishna is telling in that the third planes. With ordinary people, the mind dwells in these three planes at the organs of evacuation and generation and the navel. When the mind ascends to the fourth plane, the center designed in yoga as Anahata. That is the very, very important place for every aspirant. That's called Anahata. It is inside the heart, is in near the place of heart. It sees the individual soul as a flame. The moment the mind goes over there, that's why we teach that try to meditate on Anahata. And besides it, it sees the light. At this the aspirant cries, oh, what is this? Ah, what is this? So this is the fourth plane. When the mind rises to the fifth plane, the aspirant wants to hear only about God. And the fifth plane means in the throat. This is the Vishuddha center of yoga, and sixth plane and the center knows as the yogi, that is Agya Chakra. This Agya Chakra, I will describe it separately. When the mind rises there, the aspirant sees God. The celestial being, the God. It's not the simple words, it's true. If only one can carry the mind over there. But still there is a barrier between God and the devotee. It is like the barrier of glass in a lantern, which keeps one from touching the light. King Janaka used to give instruction about Brahmagyana from the fifth plane. Sometimes he dwelt on the fifth plane and sometimes on the sixth plane. After passing the six centers, the aspirant arrives at the seventh plane. Reaching it, the mind merges in Brahman. The individual soul and the supreme soul become one. The aspirant goes into samadhi. The consciousness of the body disappears. he loses the knowledge of the outer world, he does not see the manifold anymore, and his reasoning comes to a stop. How wonderful description that he is giving over here. Trailanga Swami, a very famous yogi, Trailanga Swami, he used to live in Kashi, Benares, once said, because a man reasons, he is conscious of multiplicity of variety. The Kashi is a seat of learning. Different type of philosophers, they used to come and then they used to arrange a debate, and they used to try to place their own opinion and to conquer and to establish his own opinion, explanation. Trailanga Swami was aware of it, and he is telling these people, as because they are reasoning, so obviously they are aware of the multiple things, many things. The moment you see many, ajnana. When you see many things, then you are ignorant. Only one thing, that is Atman or Brahman or Shiva. Attaining Samadhi, one gives up the body in 21 days. Spiritual consciousness is not possible without the awakening of Kundalini. Now, here we find that is called Muladhara, the different description at the base of spinal column, and they say it is a lotus. The particular place there is a lotus like thing is there, and the color of the lotus is crimson with 4 petals. Crimson color, 4 petals, that is the place where Kundalini is there. Then comes Swadhisthana, the Muladhara, then comes Swadhisthana. And this is the sacral plexus where vermilion color lotus with 6 petals. Then comes Manipura at the navel level, and grayish blue color, 10 petals. So, how clear description. And that is why almost all the yogis, successful yogis, they have seen this, and all they have accepted this. So, naturally it is an experimental truth, the Manipura. Then comes the Anahata, that is the level of the heart, red color, 12 petals. These 12 petals, those who have seen the lotus, of course, those the real flower, if not real flower, in the picture also we can see. That is the lotus. When open, inside there is this wonderful place, and we have to imagine that our god or goddesses, or the personal, the ideology, the god sitting over there, and all around it is 12 lotus petals are there. The color is a red color. When we can see these, that means mind is concentrated. That is why the gurus, the yogis, they always try to teach people that you must try to see the color. If you can imagine the color in a very strong way, that means you have been able to withdraw your mind from outside. Then comes Vishuddha Chakra, they call Chakra, Vishuddha Chakra, at the region of the throat. And here the smoky purple color, 16 petals. And then Agya Chakra, this Agya Chakra between the 2 eyebrows, and it is white color, only 2 petals. Then Sahasrara at the top of the head, sparklingly white, 1000 petals. Sahasrara, that is why the name is Sahasrara. This is the center of the head, 1000 petals, a huge flower, and the white color, sparkling white color. So this is the stages. Then comes Kula Kundalini. Kula means the coil. Kula Kundalini, coil. It is the energy is as if waiting there, sitting there in a coiled form. Then comes 3. One is Ida, another is Pingala, and is Sushumna. It is crossing like this again and again from the left and right, crossing and reaching up to the head. And the center of the spinal cord, one straight way it goes, that's called Sushumna. This Sushumna, through that the energy comes up. How it comes up? The yogi is again describing it, sometimes like a monkey climbing. As the monkeys, they are hopping and climbing like that. Sometimes like a fish, they are darting about. The fish, sometimes it goes up, then come down, they go left, go to right. So that way it goes. That's called like a fish. Same energy coming like that. Another like a bird, hopping from one branch to another and going up, and that is the feeling. When the energy is coming upward, that is the feeling. Then like an ant, it's just going on creeping. Slowly, 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 but steadily, continuously, is coming up. That is the feeling. That's why the whole body starts trembling. And then finally, like a snake, wriggling, it goes like that. The greatest yogi is Lord Shiva. And that is why the symbol of yoga is snake. It is not the real snake, it is a symbol only, the symbol of yoga. Why? Because that Shakti, when it is coming up from the Kundalini, from the base to the top Sahasrara, it goes wrangling like a snake all the time, bending and going up. So the snake has become the symbol of yoga. So this is what a man who has realized God shows certain characteristics. Like a devotee characteristics, yes, last time we have discussed. This time Sri Ramakrishna is telling a man who has realized God shows certain characteristics. What are that? He becomes like a child or a madman or an inner thing or like a ghoul. Further, he is firmly convinced that he is the machine and God is its operator, that God alone is the doer and all others are his instruments. So that is the characteristics of a realized soul. This is the reason, as because Sri Ramakrishna, the God himself, he has come in the form of a human being to teach the modern people in their own language, in the modern way, the ancient yoga, ancient knowledge, ancient karma theory, and the faith that has been generated in the Veda in a very simple language. He first practiced those, established those, and then he propagated. Then he formed an organization with his direct disciples who also realized those truths. Then only they came out and spread it. The Swami who has written the authentic biography of Bhagavan Sri Ramakrishna, and he is mentioning in this book, I am not writing or mentioning anything, any idea, spiritual idea, which I have not realized myself. That is Saradanandaji, the great master. That is a wonderful book he wrote, the huge book. Every description and at the same time analytical description of what Sri Ramakrishna did. Now this gospel that was recorded, the conversation recorded by Mahendranath Gupta, but the biography was written by Swami Saradanandaji. That's the great master. So, up to today, we will complete over here, and the next day, next Tuesday again, we will study, and we will see that Sri Ramakrishna in the Dashera time, in the Dashera, very luckily we have come to that position, and we will study how the devotees are coming to him and what conversation is going on. Let us offer our pranam and complete. Niranjanam nityam anantarupam bhaktanukampa drita vigraham vai Ishavattaram Parameshamityam Tam Ramakrishnam Shirasa Namamaha. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Tat Sat Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu. You are aware